Dear students, welcome in 7th standard general science video class. Our 2 lessons over. Today we are going to start third lesson. Before that, let's recall some last year's concepts. I will ask you some question. Think and give me answers. What are the gases present in air? Think little bit and say me answers. Last year you have studied about air. Correct. Nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide and some inert gases are there in air. Argon, neon, helium, krypton, xenon, these are the inert gases. What is meant by inert gases? Gases which do not undergo any chemical reaction, it is called inert gases. So air is a mixture of various gases and inert gases, dust particle and water vapor. What are the uses of the various gases in air? You know student, nitrogen percent is more in air and nitrogen is used by plants and animal for synthesizing protein. So next is nitrogen is also used in airtight container in which food is packed like chips pockets, kurkures pockets, Maggie's pockets. Nitrogen gas is there to keep the food good in longer duration. So oxygen is there in air and oxygen is used for respiration, for breathing as well as for burning. CO2 is also there in air and CO2 is used by plants for synthesizing, for photosynthesis, and also it is used for put off fire as a fire extinguisher. So like air, nature has gifted us many things which man cannot make in any laboratory. So today's our topic is chapter 3, natural resources. What is meant by natural resources? Natural resources are the resources like air, water, soil, minerals. These all things we obtain from nature and such resources are called natural resources. So in this video we are going to study property of air. Air is a natural resource and we are going to study properties of air. Few simple experiments we have to do for understanding properties of air. Observe figure 3.1. Here I have taken two rubber balloons. Two balloons I have taken. Two rubber balloons of same size at the two ends of stick I have attached. Keep it horizontal. You can see yellow balloon is an inflated balloon. Inflated balloon means it has air and red balloon is deflated balloon. What do you observe? Stick goes down on the side of yellow balloon. Stick goes down on the side of yellow balloon because yellow balloon has air. So by this experiment we come to know that air has weight. Yellow balloon is inflated which has air and red balloon is deflated which do not have air. You can do this simple experiment at home. This means air has weight. You can take a injection syringe without a needle, and if injection syringe is not available then you can take a pichkari which we use in Holi for playing colors. So there are two ends to the pichkari. Front end is called inlet and the back end is called piston. So take pichkari, pull its piston, backside rod is there, you have to pull that rod. The piston can be pulled easily. Okay, when we pull the piston of the syringe or the piston of a pichkari, you can pull the piston easily and you have to release the piston. As soon as you release the piston remain in same position even you let it go. It will not go inside, it will remain as it is as you release the piston. Now close the front end of the piston. So consider that this is a pichkari, this is a front end. With the thumb you have to close the inlet of the piston. Now close the front end of Pichkari, that is inlet, tightly with the thumb, and now try to pull the piston and let it go. You have to close the inlet of the Pichkari or a syringe and you have to pull the piston. It will get very hard to pull the piston because inside the syringe low pressure is there and outside the syringe high pressure is there, so it get hard to pull the piston. And as you released the piston, when we released the piston, it is immediately pushed in. After that you have to release the piston and that piston will push inside immediately because outside the piston high pressure is there and that due to that high pressure piston will go inside immediately and you don't have to take out the thumb. You can do this experiment at home. That syringe should not have needle. You can use a pitchkari or a needle. By this activity we come to know that air pressure we have studied. Repeat this syringe or a pitchkari's experiment holding in different position, like in vertical position you have to do that experiment, in horizontal position you have to do, or in inclined position you have to do horizontal, vertical and inclined position, and you will find that in same extent you will find the position is found to go in a same extent in all cases. What I said, that this is the inlet of a piston, you have to close the inlet of the inlet of Pichkari and you have to pull the piston. It will get very hard to pull the piston, and as you pull the piston, release the piston, that piston will go quickly inside the Pichkari because in Pichkari low pressure is there and outside high pressure is there. So air pressure we can study by this experiment. In same activity, when we keep the Pichkari in horizontal, in vertical or in inclined position, we can we will found that piston is going in a same extent in all cases, and we can infer that atmospheric pressure is the same in all direction. Find out, is there any atmospheric pressure? There is no is there any atmospheric pressure on moon? And you will find that there is no atmospheric pressure on moon because there is no air on moon. Do you know, student, under ordinary condition atmospheric pressure at sea level is about 1,01,400 newtons per square meter. As we measure capacity in liter, mass in kilogram, air pressure is measured in newtons per square meter. Newtons per square meter is the unit of air pressure. Atmospheric pressure is measured with the help of barometer. Barometer is the instrument by which atmospheric pressure is measured. As we go higher above the sea level, atmospheric pressure decreases. Why atmospheric pressure decreases as we go above the sea level? Because air becomes thinner and thinner, and because of this thinner air pressure also decreases. Let's do some fun, a little fun. Hold a piece of cardboard on the mouth of a glass. This is a glass of water. You have to fill the glass with water. Take a cardboard. Hold a piece of cardboard on the mouth of a glass filled completely with water and hold it upside down. Water will not come out from the glass. So we will do this experiment now. Keep this glass upside down and you will get to see one magic. See, here in this glass water is there, but water is not falling down. This is a simple experiment you can do at home. See, water is there in this glass. I have inverted this glass and you will get to see that water is not falling. See, why this happen? I will say you. In this experiment, air pressure is more outside the glass and air pressure is low inside the glass. Due to the high pressure outside the glass, water does not come out even we invert the glass. You can do this simple experiment at home. In 1726, Swedish scientist Daniel Bernoulli put forth a principle that when the velocity, we can say speed also, when velocity of air increases, air pressure decreases, and when velocity of air decreases, air pressure increases. This principle is given by Daniel Bernoulli. Scientist Daniel Bernoulli. What he said? When velocity of air increases, air pressure decreases. When velocity of air decreases, air pressure increases. Air flows from higher pressure to the lower pressure. For example, in Nanded, high pressure is there, and in Aurangabad, low pressure is there. So air will blows from Nanded to Aurangabad, from high pressure to low pressure. Student, observe figure 3.3 and do this simple experiment at home. For this experiment, you need one long and one short, two pieces of straw you will need, and a glass of water. In a plastic cup you have to take a water. So what you need? A plastic cup with water, and second, two straw you will need, one small straw and one a long straw. Take some water in a plastic cup and hold a straw upright in it. So in this way you have to take a plastic cup. In that cup you have to hold a straw. Blow hard through the short piece of a, and take another straw horizontal. You have to keep that straw. So I don't get straw, hence okay. So in this way, horizontally, one short straw you have to keep horizontally, and one long straw you have to keep like this. In this way you have to keep straws and a cup of plastic cup with water. So take some water in a plastic cup, hold a straw upright in it, hold another straw near the upper end of the first straw horizontally, blow hard through the piece of straw, you will see fountain of water. So how you have to do? You have to take a cup of water, plastic cup of water, you have to hold a straw, and from this side you have to blow hard, and you will get to see fountain of water. You will see fountain of water. Why it happened? It happened because as you blow hard, air pressure become low near the erect end of the straw. Here on the erect end of the straw, air pressure will be low, and downside air pressure is high. In cup, air pressure is high. So air pressure was more in the plastic glass. So air all along the water started moving from high to low pressure in upward direction. In this experiment is based on Bernoulli's principle. What I said, that as you are blowing hard with another straw, air pressure is low here, and inside the cup air pressure is high. Hence water will enter in the straw and it will come out from upward, and you will get to see fountain. This happens because of air pressure. This experiment is based on Bernoulli's principle. We feel breeze, wind when air blows from high pressure to low pressure. Breeze, wind, storm, these results due to the air pressure. So humidity, we are going to study humidity. Moisture in the air is called humidity, or capacity of air to hold water vapor is called humidity. At low temperature, air's capacity is less to hold water vapor. Means in winter, in low temperature, air's capacity is less to hold water vapor. At such time, excess vapor in the air transforms into water droplets. So in winter we get to see water droplets and we call it dew. Water droplets in the air is called water vapor. So in winter, what happens? In low temperature, air's capacity is less to hold water vapor. At such time, excess vapor in the air transform into water droplet, and this is what we call dew. During afternoon, when temperature of air is high, during afternoon, during summer, the capacity of air to hold water is more, and we say air is humid. In winter air is dry, and in summer air is humid. When more moisture is there in the air, we call it humid. When temperature of air is low, moisture is also low and humidity is also low. Temperature is low, moisture is low, and humidity also low, and we say such air dry. In summer, capacity of air to hold water vapor is more, hence wet clothes dry quickly, and in winter capacity of holding water vapor is low, hence it takes long time to dry the wet clothes. In summer, wet clothes dried fast, and in winter it takes long time to dry the clothes, because in winter water holding capacity of air is low, and in summer water holding capacity of air is more. So next property of air is air occupies space. You have to do one experiment. Take empty bottle and take empty bottle. You have to take water in some vessel, and you have to take empty bottle. Consider that this empty bottle you have to take, and you have to dip that empty bottle in a water. You will get to see bubbles are coming out from that bottle. Why these bubbles are coming from empty bottle? Because in bottle air was there, and that air is rushing out, bubbles coming out from the bottle, and these bubbles are nothing but air. Hence we can prove that air occupies space. You used to play many times. You used to take water in a vessel, big vessel, and in that vessel you used to dip empty bottle. When you are dipping that empty bottle, bubbles comes out from the bottle. That bubbles are nothing but air, means air occupies space, and we can infer that, we can prove that air occupies space. Air has mass, air has weight, air has mass, and air has weight. Air has volume also. Okay, air is a mixture of some gases, dust particles, smoke, and moisture. Okay, as air has dust particles, these dust particles scatter the light, spreads the light, and this is a natural phenomena. Spreading of light due to air, due to dust particle, it is called scattering of light. Air help to maintain the temperature of the earth. Earth receives heat from sun. Hence, due to air, earth remain warm, and due to this warmness, earth is suitable for all living things. If there were no air on the earth's average temperature would have very low, and in winter very low. In winter air's density is increases. Density of air increases as the molecules of air come closer. Hence in winter density of air increases, and in summer density of air decreases because molecule of air go far away from each other. So in winter air helps to transmit the sound. In winter transmission of sound is very fast because molecules of air come closer, density increases, and due to that we get to listen various sounds. Due to air we get to listen various sounds. In winter density of air more, hence we get to listen clear sound of whistle of a train, because in winter air's density is more and air's density is less in summer. So in easily we get to see get to listen the whistle of a train which is far away from us. So students, in this lesson we have studied about the properties of air. In next lesson we are going to study properties of water. Okay, till you should read this lesson twice, listen video, do simple experiment at your home, and try to understand all the concept. Goodbye students.